Hey, brothers and sisters from the Starknet ecosystem. Welcome back to the Star Cafe. This is Nurstar speaking, your personal Stark barista. And once again, we are ready to delight you with some very special Starknet content. So, happy Monday to everybody, guys. And what a better way to begin this week by adventuring ourselves in a journey into one of the key players in the Starknet ecosystem. I'm talking about the Braavos Starknet wallet. And today we'll have a deep dive on the innovative technical security, on the innovative technical and security features that are being brought forward by Braavos. Together with also a look on their ongoing community campaign called Starknet Journey, which is boosting the usage and the knowledge around Starknet and the Braavos wallet. However, enough for the intro of today's Star Cafe. So it's time to welcome our guest, the founder of the Braavos Starknet wallet, Motty Lavie. Hey Motty, welcome to the Star Cafe. How are you?
Thank you, Nurstar. It's a pleasure to be here. First time having a cafe from the famous barista.
Exactly. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Yeah. I was really looking forward to having you at the cafe, and we finally managed to bring you here. So I'm very excited about that. However, Moti, would you mind starting with an icebreaker about the Braavos journey on Starknet? So could you tell me your impressions and feelings about the first year of the Braavos wallet on Starknet? I mean, what would you highlight in terms of ecosystem experience and product innovation? And finally, how did the vision of Braavos unfold itself during all these months, please?
That's a big question. Let me unpack. So maybe I will start, Nurstar, by saying that for us, Braavos is actually not the first protocol on Starknet. We started by developing an AMM DEX. It was and it is still called MySwap. It was the first DeFi app to launch on Starknet testnet and then on Starknet mainnet. And when we first started looking into Starknet, we saw great potential in terms of the technology, Stark-proof, the fact that it was already battle tested with Starkware other product, which is called StarkX, that helped to scale projects on Ethereum like DYDX and RhinoFi and SoRare and Immutable X and so forth. So we had no doubt about the technology, but we were a bit concerned about the new programming language that Starkware has been creating for Starknet back then, which is called Cairo. And this programming language is completely different than the programming language used in Ethereum and in other Ethereum compatible chains, which is called Solidity. So for us, we wanted to see how well it works and whether we can really build something using this new programming language for mathematical proofs, the Cairo language, and that's how we build MySwap the AML. And we saw that it's although it's a new language and although it was back then at least very rudimentary, we were managed to build stuff and build relatively quickly. So that was like for us testing the water and see what is possible. And once we realized that it's possible, and not only it's possible, then with the other two key characteristics of Starknet, meaning mainly very low gas fees and account abstraction built into the protocol, we realized that we have a great opportunity here to, I would say, dramatically improve crypto experience for everyday users. And that's basically our vision. We want to bring a great user experience. I call it a Web2 experience with Web3 values, meaning we want to give you the core feature or the core characteristic of crypto, which is the core values, which is self-custodial and decentralization, but without sacrificing the great UX that we know from Web 2, and vice versa. So giving a great UX as we know in Web 2, but without sacrificing decentralization or self-custody. And this is really, was our goal and vision from day one. We as a team, we came relatively late to crypto, so for us, there was a big gap between how the Web 2 world is working and the Web 3 world. Web 2 is all about reducing friction and making things easier for the user. And Web 3 is almost the opposite. It's like putting all the burden on the user's shoulders. Everything is the user responsibilities. And they need to handle their keys. They need to make sure not to make any mistakes. They need to learn concepts and ideas which are not trivial. So it was really like a big change from the experience that we were used to giving to users. And with Starknet and, as I said, low gas fees and account abstraction, the potential to improve the user experience was very clear to us. So when we started with building the bread and butter features of a wallet. We had a wallet as an extension, as a browser extension on Starknet, on almost all browsers, Chrome, of course, and Firefox, and Edge, and Brave. And then we launched the application for iOS and Android, so people can access their crypto on the go. With all the basic features that we know from other wallets in crypto, like the basics of showing your token list and your balance and sending and receiving funds and your NFT collectibles. And we had a built-in exchange. We have a built-in exchange in the wallet, and the ability to see what the apps request you to sign on in a human-readable format, in a human-readable way, and so forth and so forth. And once we finished with these bread and butter, we moved on to account abstraction feature, what we call smart contract wallet features. Maybe I will take a short break here before we dive into the smart contract wallet part.
Sure, absolutely. Don't spoil us too much. Cool. However, Motty, thanks a lot for highlighting the vision of the Braavos Starknet wallet. And I mean, during the past year, Braavos has been shipping features after features. You've been doing a great job, also by growing a very organic community and vibrant community on Starknet. And having said that, Braavos has been the first and so far the only mobile compatible wallet on Starknet. And how important is mobile compatibility when it comes to non-custodial blockchain wallets? And which steps are you taking in order to offer the best user and security experience for those users who use Braavos mostly on mobile?
So I think the answer has three sections. One is when you look on users at large, most of them today access the internet through their mobile devices. Even if they have a computer, most of their internet access is done through mobile. And basically, mobile as an interface with touch capabilities, with other sensors, present a much richer experience for users. So for us, as we said just 2 minutes ago, in order to improve the UX, we need to provide a mobile wallet so people can access their crypto wherever they are on their favorite device. So that's one thing. The second thing is that not only that some people access the internet via mobile or only via mobile, I think that the second thing is that mobile as a device, it enables you to create a much more secure experience and I call it streamline the user flow in terms of signing transactions or approving transactions on the blockchain. And I think that's a key element. So just before diving into that, let's maybe recap the three pillars of mobile. One is the fact that most people access their internet via mobile. The second thing is that you can access your crypto on the go wherever you are. You don't have to be in front of your laptop or your desktop at home. And the third thing is that the chips that we have in our mobile device and the sensors that we have in our mobile device allow us to enhance the experience and enhance the security of crypto wallet dramatically. And what do I mean by that? I mean that our mobiles, or most modern mobiles today, are extremely powerful, and they have many sensors inside them, including a very strong security chip that can be used, like we do in Braavos, in order to secure your crypto funds, meaning it can be used to generate keys that never leaves your device, and the camera or the fingerprint sensor can use to authenticate your biometric ID before allowing the device to sign transactions. And that's, for the first time in crypto, actually present a two-factor authentication mechanism for signing transactions on the blockchain. And now, it's funny because every mundane Web2 service, even ordering food via application like Wolt, or ordering a taxi or whatever, has two-factor authentication built in, certainly when you try to change something in the settings. But in crypto, when we handle sometimes very large amount of money, we rely only on a text password or only on these 12 mnemonic speed words that we instruct the users to write on a piece of paper. And we at Braavos really think that this is not scalable. This is not the user experience that can bring the masses. And in essence, this is not secure. It's not the text password considered not secure, not only in crypto, but also in IT security at large. And we can get into the three factors of authentication, like something you know, something you have, and something you are. But in general, a good form of authentication, a good form of security, combines at least two of the above three, with a strong preference not to use something you know, because it's the most fragile terms of security. But yet in crypto, most of the security is based on this something you know, on these text password, 12 word seed phrase. So having the mobile allow us, as I said, to harness the power of the very strong security chip that we have inside, and the biometric sensors like fingerprint ID or face ID, in order to offer true two-factor authentication for the first time in crypto, I believe.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Motty, for telling us about the mobile approach of the Braavos Starknet wallet, which is, for those who still don't know it, the first and so far the only mobile wallet that you can use on Starknet. And, having said that, you already started talking about, a concept which is, in my own opinion, one of the most disruptive features that have been introduced to Starknet on Starknet in the last 12 months, and it's the one of the called the security pyramid. And would you like to elaborate a bit more about that? And also, could you tell us at which stage it is in terms of practical development? In the sense that can we already take advantage of this security pyramid in practice? Can we already put it in use in order to make our wallet more secure?
So let's start with the end. The answer is yes. We have launched the hardware signer in Starknet CC Lisbon in November last year. And since then, it's been gaining traction on chain. And we've launched the multi-signer feature, and I will explain in a second what this means. We've launched it, if I remember correctly, like 3-4 months ago during Starknet Starknet sessions in Tel Aviv. So it's already live. It's already live on mainnet. I will give 2 caveats for that. One caveat is that please remember that both Starknet and Braavos is still in alpha. This means that the code is still not audited and things can break. So please be cautious when you try out these new features. And the second thing is, since these are extremely new and innovative ways on signing transaction in crypto, not all Starknet dApps have aligned to that. Most Starknet dApps have aligned to that, but not all Starknet dApps have aligned to that. So in some cases, you can find dApps that won't properly support the multi-signer feature, for example, to sign transactions. But let's first explain maybe what it is, and then we can circle back and better understand how it is best to use that now. So the idea of the account abstraction security pyramid, maybe first I will explain in 3 sentences what is account abstraction and what's the difference between smart contract wallets and traditional wallets, and then we will talk about the different signers that we have in the pyramids. So account abstraction allows us to abstract the account from the application. So unlike traditional wallets where we have only an application side, traditional wallets you can think of like MetaMask, they have only application side that generate your keys and sign your transactions and help you see your funds on the blockchain. But actually everything happens on the application side. Everything happens on your device. Other than verifying the signature, which the blockchain is doing, there is no representation of your account on chain. In smart contract wallets, you actually have 2 parts. You have the part of the application, like all traditional wallets, but you also have a smart contract which represents your account and resides on chain, and all of your transactions that you sign on the application side goes through this smart contract account before they are interacting with any other contract on the blockchain. Now, this is very, very powerful because your account smart contract can add to any transaction any arbitrary logic that it deems fit, and that includes custom verification logic and also custom execution logic, and that open a new design space for having a much smarter account and a much smarter wallet, because again, as I said, we can code into them any logic that we want, any logic that we can think of. Now, what we did with Braavos and with the account abstraction security pyramid, we tackled first the signature verification part of crypto transaction, and we said, okay, let's we all know from traditional wallets and also in Braavos, we have the basic signature, which uses the defined security scheme, the defined elliptic curve that is relevant to the blockchain, in our case, to Starknet. And the signature is derived from your seed phrase. These notorious 12 words that we've discussed previously. So in the account abstraction security pyramid, this is like the very basic level. So every account has what we call the seed signer. The seed signer is the signer, the keys that are derived from your seed phrase. But as we said, this is the weakest form of security, and in general, we don't think that's a very user-friendly and a good idea to use that. So on top of that, we build something that we call the hardware signer. So the hardware signer is the second level in the pyramid, and the hardware signer actually uses the security chip that you have on your mobile, as we described earlier, in order to generate keys and sign transactions authenticated by your biometric. The issue is, and this is very powerful, but and we all know this functionality from classic Web 2 services, but we never saw that in crypto. And the reason is because the signature scheme that is available on the mobile devices is not compatible with what the blockchain supports. So the mobile can sign, your iPhone or your Android phone can sign, but the blockchain doesn't know to verify the signature, so it's useless. But if you remember what I've just said 2 minutes ago, with account abstraction, with smart contract wallets, with the fact that you have an account contract on chain that can run custom signature verification logic, we can implement whatever signature verification logic we see fit. And in that case, in this case, we implemented the signature verification logic that is compatible with the security chip on your iPhone and your Android devices. And for technical people here, this is an elliptic curve that is called 256, SecP 256R1. And now we have transactions that are authenticated or are secured by something you have, which is your mobile device. The keys are generated by your device and never leave your device. They are inaccessible not to the operating system, not to the application, not to the hardware vendor, to anyone. And it's also being authenticated and secured by something you are, which is your biometric ID. And hence we have two-factor authentication. So if we go back to the security pyramid, so the first and the baseline of the pyramid is the seed signer. The second level in the pyramid is the hardware signer that I've just described. And now we've added an extra layer on top of the hardware signer that we call the multi-signer. And the multi-signer actually allows you to sign from two different devices, meaning you can, in order to execute a transaction, you need to one sign from your mobile device, for example, authenticated by your biometric ID. And on top of that, you need to sign also from your extension, your browser extension on your laptop or desktop. And that way, you get three-factor authentication. Something you know, which is derived from the key that you have in your browser extension. Something you have and something you are, which is the mobile device and the bio-authentication on the signature. So all in all, three-factor authentication. And this is very useful, for example, for hodling accounts. So if you have a lot of money in an account, you don't do a lot of transactions, so you don't mind to have more friction every now and then when you want to move large amounts of funds, you can use the multi-factor and the three-factor authentication in order to secure this type of account. So I hope it wasn't too long, and I hope it was clear. But if you have any follow-up question, then Norstar, please let me know.
It was absolutely a masterclass on security in general and on the security pyramid. Thanks a lot for that, Motty. But remaining in the practical field, does using this security pyramid involve additional costs while using the wallet?
So the short answer is yes, but the longer answer is not really. And why not really? Because if you remember, we said that Starknet has two major advancements that it brought into the table. One is by able to scale Ethereum and run many transactions and compress them into a single proof that will be verified by the Ethereum blockchain. We managed to, or more accurately, Starknet has managed to reduce gas fee dramatically, meaning computation on Starknet is an order of magnitude or orders of magnitude cheaper than computation on Ethereum. And the second thing is account abstraction. Now, if you take for example, the hardware signer in the security pyramid, then it's true that it takes more computation steps. But since these computation steps are extremely cheap, then the delta between signing a transaction with the regular signer, the seed signer, and signing a transaction with the hardware signer will be marginal, and the cost will go dramatically with the upcoming version 12. And as we move forward with more and more scalable Starknet, then it should be completely negligible in the amount of just a few cents.
I see, Motty. Thanks a lot for clarifying this point. So, in a few words, basically the upcoming Starknet UX roadmap is going to basically to beat to dissolve the costs, the additional costs around this kind of operations. And obviously, on top of that, it's always better to spend some more cents on security, on a safe transaction, than just wanting to save some cents and then feeling sorry, So yeah, thanks a lot for highlighting that. And however, let's switch a bit towards DeFi. And for those listeners who have just joined us in the last minutes, I would like to remind to them that the Braavos team is also running MySwap, an automated market maker and decentralized exchange, which is also implemented in the Braavos wallet, besides having its own browser app as well. So, Moti, could you spend some well-deserved words on the MySwap product? How are you optimizing liquidity? And last but not least, how do you ensure security for the liquidity deposited on MySwap? And lastly, what kind of security approach should we have when it comes to DeFi beyond wallets?
Okay, so I think that there are a few facets here to the question. Maybe let's start with the last one. How do you ensure that your DeFi protocol is secure? So for that, you actually need to ensure that two things are secure. One is the fact that your code has been audited. So you have a well-written code, a well-tested code, and your code has been audited. And that's what we did in MySwap. So not only it was the first DeFi app to be launched on Starknet, I believe that it's also the first to be audited on Starknet way back then. I think like over 6 months ago, maybe more, we have completed the audit. And the second thing that you need to be aware of in terms of DeFi protocol is maybe the code is good and maybe the code is doing exactly what the protocol intended it to do and the white paper intended it to do, but maybe there is a conceptual bug in the protocol. Yeah, you can take the infamous Luna case, in which there was no problem with the code, but the protocol itself was rotten. Right, so you need to be careful from both of these angles when you interact with DeFi. And for the second thing, there is no easy solution because these things are usually pretty complicated. It takes a lot of time and effort to dive into them and to understand them to the fullest. And so for common users, I would recommend two things. I would recommend one is to follow what is called the Lindy effect, meaning if a protocol exists for a long time and it hasn't been hacked, then the probability for it to be hacked is going down as time progresses. For the mere fact that if it was able to hack that protocol, then probably someone would already found it and find it and simply take the money. The second thing is to go with either protocol that have been proven on other chains, or to follow people that you think that are an authority in the space, an authority in the DeFi space, have experience, they've launched protocols, they have a good reputation, and trust that they did the proper due diligence to the protocol, such that it is not faulty from within. So I think that's in terms of security. In terms of the general picture of MySwap, we are planning a few surprises to MySwap, and if you like, Northstar, we can connect that to the Starknet journey that we've now been doing on Starknet for the past few weeks. And this week's milestone is tightly related to MySwap. So maybe we can talk about that a bit, and I can describe that a bit, and then see what the future holds for MySwap.
Yeah, absolutely, Motty. Let's talk about the Starknet Journey NFT campaign by Braavos. So I would like to know a bit more about the campaign in general, and how did you come up with this idea, and what is the main goal of the Starknet Journey campaign? And what is the role? Sorry, what is the role of the Braavos community in such initiatives, and beyond that as well?
So it all started when new users were joining the community, and they say, "Oh, that's great! We've downloaded the Braavos wallet. We set the hardware signer. We did, we transfer funds, we on-ramp funds, etc. But we want to know like what's happening on Starknet, like with which dApps can we interact." And for that, the first thing that we did is we introduced the Starknet Proscore and the dApp gallery. The dApp gallery and the Starknet Proscore actually list inside the wallet all the relevant dApps for testnet and mainnet that are currently live on Starknet. So users will have it, can find them in a click of a button. It's like extremely easy. From the main screen of the wallet, you go to the dApp gallery, and then you have all the various dApps, and you can search for dApps, and you can filter, and any click on dApp takes you directly to the dApp. So that's one thing. And the second thing that we added on top of that is the Starknet Proscore, which actually helps you to understand with which dApp you interacted, how much you interacted with each dApps, how many consecutive months of interactions you did on Starknet, and so forth. And all of these comprise your Starknet Proscore. So that was like the first thing that we did. We did it back in April. But then we felt that we need to add a more guided roadmap to that. So not only present all the information and have the user simply go in and pick and choose where they want to go, but actually to guide them in their Starknet journey. And this is how the Starknet Journey campaign, the Starknet Journey maps with the different milestones came to life. So, and the Starknet Journey, as I said, it guides you on your journey on Starknet. It's the base of the journey is a dynamic NFT. It's a map that is being updated constantly according to the milestone that you achieve on your journey. Each week, we present a new challenge, a new milestone that users need to conquer. And if they conquer that, they can claim an NFT that symbolizes the fact that they conquer that milestone, and their map is dynamically updated by that milestone that they have been conquered. So you can think of that as a path, or actually as a journey that you go on the journey of Starknet, and you collect NFTs, and each NFT represent a different milestone on the map. And once you have a complete map with all the milestones, this is something that will be valuable for users. It will be, and maybe I would dive into that, because not to leave it up in the air. It will be valuable for users, not only because they did the journey, but because we believe, or more than believe, that this map will have value that can be unlocked.
Absolutely, Motty. Yeah, I personally must say that I'm taking part in all of these quests, and I'm having a lot of fun so far. And the interactive map is something mind blowing. I really like that. These quests, these kind of quests, are very educational, because people, especially newcomers, start interacting with all the protocols and the wallets, and obviously, yeah, whether some of them, maybe they're farming the airdrop, most people are doing that in general, and it's something normal. But at the same time, it's something very valuable, because while you're playing with this quest, you're learning how to use decentralized protocols, right? So this is something very useful and revolutionary, which is being done in a gamified and fun way. So it's very nice.
Thank you.
However, Motzi, I would like to ask you, you're welcome. I would like to ask you for a question by the public. Let me get it. And it was basically like two questions in one, let's say. The first question was, how are you going to get OG MetaMask users to get involved with Braavos? And the other one was, are there plans to deploy Braavos on other chains or on other scaling solutions? I suppose the question was about.
Yeah. So let's start with the first one. I posted a tweet, I think like a week or 2 weeks ago, which state my belief. I think that the difference between traditional wallets and smart contract wallets is like the difference between feature phone that we had like 15 years ago and smartphones. So before the iPhones and Android phone came, we had like these Nokia feature phones that you can call and send text and maybe play a snake game, but they were very limited. And then the iPhone came, and Android phone came into the world, and now your phone is much more than just making calls and sending text messages. And it is much more powerful. It is much more enabling. And I believe the same thing will go through the wallet and smart wallets part. So any wallet that won't evolve to be a smart wallet, I think will have a problem to survive in the future. And for us, I think the question was, how do we attract users that are already using traditional wallets? I think that smart contract wallets present a significantly better user experience and a significantly better security. And if you couple that with Starknet, also extremely low gas fees, combine this with DeFi features that we have in the wallet, and you get a very compelling experience of self-custodial, decentralized crypto wallet, which give you, as we said at the beginning, the Web2 experience, but with Web3 values. You don't sacrifice decentralization and self-custody. And I believe that this is something that will be very, very appealing to users. The combination of very low gas fees, a very strong and seamless level of security, together with the option to earn high yields on your funds, this is something that I believe many users will find appealing, and that before we are talking about the many other use cases that smart contract wallet enables, from financial parts like withdrawal limits and what happened after I die, how I can automatically transfer my funds to whoever I want, like a will, and goes through things like identity and so forth. So, as I said, I think future-wise, all wallets will be smart contract wallets, and in smart contract, I think Braavos is certainly at the helm of innovation.
Awesome, Motty. Thanks a lot to Avali.lens and I'm Phil Black for the questions. And having said that, we are slowly coming to the end of today's Star Cafe. And the last question is about the upcoming Starknet version. And as many of us know the version 0.12.0 of the Starknet scaling solution is around the corner. And together with the regenesis, this will make Starknet a very competitive player in the L2 scene. And how are Braavos and MySwap preparing themselves for such a crucial moment in the history of Starknet? What can we expect in terms of innovation by your side? And what are your priorities to make these products blossom during such an important time?
So great question. Maybe Nostar, before I answer, I will say the secret word that my team here says that many listeners are waiting for. So the secret word of today is journey. Journey. We can maybe write it down. Journey. Journey. And now for the question. We've been, if you remember at the beginning of this call, at the beginning of this Twitter space, I've said, I've described our journey, our initial journey in Starknet, and we identified, I think, early at the beginning that Starknet has a true potential, or the best potential from all L2 solutions to really scale Ethereum. So we've been waiting for the numbers that version 12 would bring with it for a long, long time now. And we are so happy that it's now right around the corner. And we will all be able to enjoy high throughput TPS in the very, very near weeks.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Motty.
That's very exciting. Yeah.
Please go on.
Yeah, so that's very exciting. And as we said earlier, the more compute that we can do on chain that can be cheap, and this is what high TPS gives us, the more features and the better UX that we can offer to the users. So there are several things to look forward to, both on MySwap and on Braavos.
Very good. Well, Motty, thanks a lot for, besides that, before closing the Star Cafe, yeah, I must say that we are all looking forward to the Starknet V12. And yeah, it's around the corner and I'm really excited. I think all our patience will be paid off, in the coming months, and will be an amazing opportunity for all of us and for all the users. And so really excited about that. Having said that, I would love to thank you so much for this marvelous Star Cafe session. I hope you enjoyed the cafe and the coffee as well, and the virtual one, let's say. And I had a great time, and you explained to us a lot of things about the Starknet, the Braavos Starknet wallet, and about the MySwap AMM as well. So thanks a lot for that. And besides that, also I would love to say a special thank you to all the listeners. Thanks a lot for taking some of your very precious time to be with us today. You were so many, so I'm very grateful for that. Thanks a lot. And once again, Motty, thanks a lot for coming.
No, Star, thank you very much. Thank you for everyone who joined and listened. I see here many people from the Braavos community. Just for you to know, we like you a lot, and there are, I think, exciting things to look forward to. So till the next time. Bye for now.
Bye bye, Motty. Really looking forward to experience the Starknet future with you and with all the Braavos community and the Starknet overall community as well. Having said that, it's time to close. Remember sharing the Starknet vibe and see you the next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Motty. Bye. Bye.